Take a moment, come to center. Take a moment to organize your body, your breath, your mind. The same way we put on our clothes, we put on nicely. We put ourselves together nicely on the surface. Then put yourself together at the deeper level. In your heartbeat, in your breath. Tune your body, heart, and mind. And learn to recognize this state of being in tune and the state of being out of tune. When we're in tune, how does that feel to be in tune, to be in the flow, to be in rhythm, to be in sync? And then to cultivate that as a daily habit, as a way of life. We've been trying very hard to figure out life and figure ourselves out. Who am I? What should I do? Where should I go? But nobody has succeeded. So what are the chances that we will succeed? No one has succeeded. With all the books and all the universities and all the language, everything, so much endless information, but to be oneself, to be at home, at ease, at peace, it would seem, despite all of the lists and the tasks and everything we've done and have yet to do, that no one has made it. And so our chances don't look good. Because the goal is not over there, the goal is here. So you can't make it there. It's impossible to get there, because we'll always be here. There is only in your mind. So the yogis say, let's start with here. Maybe there exists, maybe it's true. But for sure we know here. So we can start with here. To master being present. And then, if then and there comes, we'll be here, we'll be ready. But if we don't know how to be present here, and we're always looking over there, and the goal is over there, happiness, everything is over there, then even if it comes, we'll miss it, because we're still looking over there. So, no matter how you approach, we must learn to be here and now. Here and now is where life is happening. Here and now is where we can laugh, we can cry, we can dance, we can play here and now. Not in the past, not in the future. We have many stories about then and there. All the things I'm going to do then, all of the way I'll be, everything. We have endless stories about then and there. But only stories. Life is here and now. Like a sports game, they blow the whistle, the game starts. Now it's game time. So when is game time? Now, this moment. That's why we recommend training the deeper layers of mind. Thinking is wonderful, but insufficient to experience things like love, peace, happiness. Happiness is not experienced through thought and mind with the dictionary and definitions and everything. Likes and dislikes, all this. Mind is in the past. In a sports game, the game is going on. The game is, they're playing the game, someone's sitting on the side watching the game, and then talking about the game. The caster, the newscaster. But what they're seeing, by the time they're seeing and thinking and talking, it's not the present moment, it's already the past. They're not in the game, they're outside of the game. In the same way, mind is outside of the game. Mind is always in the past. Not only is mind in the past, but all of the concepts of mind are in the past also. And so, mind is insufficient to be present. Impossible for it to be present while thinking. The thinking automatically is pulling you into some fantasy, some story, some idea out of the present moment. The thought of peace is pulling you away from peace, the real living peace. The word love has nothing to do with the living experience of love. And so what we need is to cultivate that depth of awareness, deeper listening and presence. Then very easily we can access the present moment. It's in a state of awareness that our thoughts and life experiences are digested. Otherwise it stays undigested. All of these trauma, all of these, the good and the bad and everything, stuck, and we're just living these old stories. And so in this state of awareness, automatically everything, all of life is digested. We don't have to figure out. Otherwise, the mind is spinning endlessly. No relief, except when we zone out. So mind training. We train we go to the gym, we train our bodies, we train to compare and contrast and to think and to analyze, all these things. But this is still on the surface of the mind. These deeper layers like creativity, intuition, revelation, we can access these states as well. Beauty, peace, love, like this. We can tune ourselves, we can train ourselves to be in tune, to be in the flow, to be in this state of aliveness, like we see around us in the garden, in the insects, in the plants, in life. Life is alive. This is the nature of life, is to be alive. But we're surrounded by objects, and so now we see ourselves like an object, like a table or something. But life is alive. So this aliveness itself is intelligence. The aliveness itself is creativity. It's not an extra ingredient. That aliveness is the medicine for the soul, for the heart, for the mind, for the body. And so that's why we're talking about presence and aliveness. These are the two key concepts. To be present and to be alive. And this is the purpose of the training. This is the purpose of the practice. To establish that depth of presence and that expansive aliveness in your cells, in your blood, in your spine, in your nervous system, in your breath, in your heart, in your mind. We must put it there. Otherwise, who's going to put it there? How will that happen? If we don't train how to play tennis, how do you hit the ball? How do you know? How can you do it if you don't train? In the same way, if we don't establish the center, the axis, central axis, the roots, then we hope it just magically appears. It's unlikely, very unlikely. So this is why we recommend to take a little time each day to tune yourself. And through this process, you can stay in shape. In shape means not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, like as a whole self. Because if you're to play, like for example, your friends invite you to play a pickup game of ultimate frisbee on the weekend, and you're running around, and after a few minutes you collapse, and you're like wheezing, and you feel so much pain. It's like you're dying. You feel like dying. Lactic acid and everything cramped up. But everybody else is running around and smiling and having a good time. Right? Exactly the same game, exactly the same time, but a very different experience. The only difference is in shape and out of shape. If we're out of shape, then it's torture. It's like a punishment. But if we're in shape, then it's like it's joyful. It's a celebration. It's a dance. And so that's why we have to stay in shape for life. Otherwise, life becomes torture every moment. Simply because we're out of shape. And so that's why we recommend take a few minutes every morning to tune your instrument, to warm up, and recommended to undergo some period of training to cultivate your breath, your focus, your spine, all these things. The foundation, like a sport. If you play a sport, you have to learn the foundational moves. How to pivot, how to pass, how to move or dribble, whatever you're doing, you have to repeat again and again and again until it becomes automatic. So in the same way, there's some foundational things that we're doing in our daily life, namely breathing, sitting, speaking or not speaking. And so if we take the time to warm up, to tune ourselves, and to train in the foundation of being human, then there's a possibility that it will improve the quality of our life. Because if you do the same thing in a sport, then 100% you're going to improve. There's no question. There's no question. If you, every day, spend a few minutes training, warming up, tuning, every day with the violin, there's no question that you'll improve. If you study French this way, also study some foreign language. So if you apply the same principles to being at home in yourself, to being yourself, then it's possible. If it works, it's a miracle. If not, then it's just another fad, another thing to throw away. So that's why we recommend to do 100-day challenge, 3 months, daily practice, commit to a fixed practice, something you know you can do, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes practice, and you design exactly what that is. These postures in this order, the breathing meditation for this length, and then you do it like a program. You just repeat and do it again and again. And then for sure, after some time, after some 30 days, 40 days, 60 days, something, you know for yourself if it's benefit or not. Not because you become really, really awesome at acrobatics and everything, which you might, and that's cool, but that's a side quest. The way that you know your practice is working is because in your daily life, when you're not practicing, you feel more at ease, you feel more creative, more efficient, you're kinder to yourself and others. Make better decisions, sleep better, these things. These are the signs. We must observe our daily life. This isn't yoga for the sake of yoga. This isn't something else. We have to prove something else. Prove something. So for sure you'll know. If you water the garden every day, after 60 days, you'll know. Questions? What are the things that you continue to struggle with in your practice? Practice is not a struggle. Practice is a joy. It's a dance. It's like dancing. I love to dance. It's like a painter that gets to paint. If your practice is a struggle, then no, you have to find the joy, the playfulness. Now I have like my son, my family, many responsibilities. I still get up early, but I love, like, we sleep together, co-sleeping, and it's the most, really, one of the best parts of my life, for sure. And I've had a really good life. But getting to cuddle up in bed with my son and my wife every night is like, it's like full bliss. I wake up in the middle of the night fully in bliss. The vibration and the biochemistry, everything is so good. And so sometimes it's hard to like get out but that's the practice. The practice is being present. The practice isn't, I have to do this and this and this and that. One must undergo a period of strict training. Like when playing music or in the army in the beginning, we have to undergo some kind of regimented training. Struggle with. Yeah, but why focus on our struggles? I never focus on the struggles. The struggles come and go. But what about the joys from my practice? What is the joy? What are the joys in my practice? No, it's like taking a shower. After you take a shower, you feel great. You feel good. And it's nice to feel good. Hello, Joel. Can you talk a little about altars? The altar in this room, the rituals and significance. Would you recommend setting up an altar at home? And if so, what kind of things should we put in it? Yeah, good question. So nowadays we've lost this aspect of sacred in our daily life. Sacred space, sacred time. Everything is just business. Everything is money for sale. Time is money and business and everything. And so we don't really make space for the sacred moment or the sacred space. So altar is a sacred space that we have, a place to anchor that, the spirit in our house, an energetic field. And you can put whatever, gemstones, feathers, photos of important people to you, family, something. You can put water, flowers, candles, good, incense. These are representing all the elements. Incense, candle, water, flower, fragrant paste. Like these, and it's a place to store your energy. It's like intentional space. It's really good to have a place where you practice, a fixed practice space, your mat, a place where you can collect your energy, that people aren't walking through or on top of that place. And when you go to that place, automatically you get into that mode. Like when you put on a uniform, you're in that mode. So having that space helps to carve out a space within time. Otherwise, we get swept away because there's endless stimulation now. Since electricity and now the cell phones, we're drowning in stories of other people's stories. And so the altar is a sacred space. Lots of power items here, pictures of my gurus, flowers, feathers, gemstones, collecting gemstones. All these things are good. Our body too is an altar. So even the clothing we wear, I think this is really important. When at these high-level clinics for healing from serious disease like cancer and stuff, where they're doing fasting, they always make you change your clothing, organic clothing and bedding, because our clothing is poison. Most of the time our clothing is chemicals and poison, our bedding, our houses, everything. And so our skin is continually breathing in all this poison. So in the same way we have the altar in the house, then our body is altar, our heart is an altar, like that. And so the practice is like setting the altar, but the altar is inside, not outside, not for show. Otherwise we must not resist the temptation of doing a show practice, the ego practice. How do we know if a decision, a relationship, a job, a move is right for us? What do we mean by trusting our intuition? What if experience has told us our gut is not to be trusted? How do we know what is right for us? So what I observed raising a child here in Cambodia is that when the child is small, they never force it to eat when it's not hungry, or sleep when it's not tired, or to go to the toilet when it doesn't have to go to the toilet. And what happens in the West, like how I grew up, is that when the parents do this, then the child stops trusting its own internal signal, because then the parent's giving negative feedback. If I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat, but it's eating time, then I get negative feedback for listening to my own internal signal. But if I do what they want me to do to please, then I get positive feedback. So we start this kind of people-pleasing and distrusting our own signal from a very young age in terms of very important things like going to the toilet and sleeping and eating. And so we're not taught to value the inner knowing. And so the intuition is like when you hear someone singing, and they're singing in tune, and it feels very beautiful, and you feel like, you feel something, you feel warm. Then you hear someone else singing out of tune, and you feel this like, something off. So the intuition is speaking in a language like this. Every moment we have this kind of contraction or expansion, like in this, like with every person, every object, every word. It's happening very subtle level, very quickly. And so what's important to cultivate intuition is when we have to be quiet. We have to stop thinking and just listen. And if we truly listen, we can feel some kind of like a contraction or expansion, something like this. And if we can't feel anything, then we just have to wait. You can't force it. You can't force intuition. Sometimes it's not ready. We're not ready to know. We're not ready to decide. But one thing is to listen, second thing is to trust that, and the third thing is to act upon it. And so there are different levels in the training of to living from the heart, living from a deeper wisdom. Intuition is, the word intuition makes it sound like kind of airy-fairy. But it's not like that. It's more scientific. It's like a deeper knowing. Like in hypnosis, we can access these parts of subconscious, unconscious minds where we know the answer, we know already. And so, right now, we're very mental because we're trying to get the best deal, right? So we always have to calculate and process all the information so we can get a good deal, get what we want, and avoid what we don't want. But this approach won't bring us the peace, won't bring us the fulfillment. So, the intuition. And it's not only for, we're always focused on these big things and big questions, but intuition every moment. In the little moments. Life is happening in the little moments. Life is not happening in the big moments. The big moments are only in your mind. Life is the little moments. And so bring the intuition into the little moments. Like, where should I live or who should I marry? This is crazy. This isn't, life isn't like that. Intuition is flowing like a sports player. Like the sports player, to go this way. You can feel, it's like you're in the flow, to be in the flow. Intuition is not thinking. We want more thinking. We want the right thought. We're going to finally solve the equation and get the right thought. There's no right thought. No combination of thoughts, no idea, no story will ever suffice. So the intuition is a kind of dance. It's a dance with life. What are some common misconceptions of this kind of practice, other than the poser yoga? Well, one is the practice for the ego or practice for your biology, for your cells, your organs, your glands, your nervous system. Because this doesn't know if you have exactly the right thing and pose on this. That's not important for the deep level. That's only for the ego. The minute details of this one and that one and everything. All that is ego. So we don't need ego practice. And then, many people approach the yoga as I want to do what I feel like. What do I feel like doing right now? Like that. And if you practice the violin or the piano, just what do I feel like playing right now? You just kind of play a little ditty thing and like that. You want, what do I feel like in French or like that? It doesn't work that way. So that's why and also that the yoga is for yoga classes. This is not, I think it's almost impossible to really be in a state of yoga in a yoga class because all these people are on. Inevitably, we're comparing ourselves. We have some kind of competition, some ego. And generally, we don't know what's coming next. Some approaches, Ashtanga, whatever, it. But generally, so it's like sight reading music. It's try to keep up. Am I doing it? Oh, and this, right? And so, you'll feel better because you move around and stuff. But for me, the real yoga is at home. Is at home to be done alone, naked or in your own space, in your own rhythm, in your own time, so that you can be at home in yourself. The goal is to be deeply at home in yourself, not to be doing circus tricks. And so the whole thing, the whole model, the whole teacher, the whole thing is kind of inside out, upside down, and backwards, as far as I can tell. And that the practice, that yoga is separate from meditation, or that breath is separate from, it's one. There's one, like our body has many parts, all of it is one. So all of these are parts of the body of yoga: breath, senses, mind, creativity, nature, food, stillness. Right? We need all of this in order to make a beautiful salad. So, yeah, also this misconception that the purpose of yoga is to be good at yoga. The purpose of meditation is to be good at meditation. This is a misunderstanding. The purpose of yoga is to be yourself. Be good at being yourself. It's not about who cares about yoga? Nobody really cares about yoga. Right? What we need is to be at home, to feel at home. Not just as nice words, but as a reality, as a living reality. Because when you're at home, you don't even think it. You're not even thinking about it. Then you forget about yourself. To be yourself, when you're really being yourself, you're not thinking about yourself at all. So when you're truly at home, you forget yourself. What a joy, what a gift, what a blessing. All this constantly obsessing over ourselves and what to do. And there's no solution. So to put it down for a moment, this is peace, this is a freedom. Because the purpose of life is every moment. Every moment is a purpose. Every moment you're living your purpose. It's not just like that when you saved the cat from or that when you got the award or something. Your purpose of life is every moment, every interaction, every experience. Otherwise, I'm just like waiting. I'm just sitting around waiting for my purpose. It's coming, it's over there somewhere. The purpose is now. We have to live it now. If you wait, then you'll forget how to live. How do I deal with my own skepticism towards the spiritual aspects of yoga and meditation? Like a scientist, just like a scientist, you don't have to deal with it. You just practice every day for 100 days, and then see how you feel. Because actually, there's no such thing as there's nothing spiritual. Really, the spiritual is a false concept, because then we think there's regular life and spiritual life, right? But there's only one life. There's one life. There's not a family life and a business life and a fun life and a spiritual life. And no, this is the schizophrenia. We have one life, and that one life, then to be alive, then you can if you want to call that spiritual, but it's not needed. It's just to be in this integrated, to be alive. Otherwise, we become fragmented and compartmentalized, and we act this way at work, and this way with our friends, and this way, and then we're completely lost. And so the spiritual, there's nothing spiritual. This is science. This is geometry. This is mathematics. This is medicine. When you inhale and you hold your breath, and then you 100 days. 100 days is enough. The first time you go for a walk in the woods, you don't see anything. You can't see because you're unfamiliar. You don't know where the path, where the different trees. But But after you go every day to the woods for 30 days, 40 days, you see so many things that you couldn't see before. You can't see it. You can't force yourself to see it right away. But you become sensitive, more subtle, in a more subtle way, you become sensitive. Mantra. Is mantra helpful in meditation? Where do we find one? Should we always use it? Mantra. So, mantra is using sound and the repetition of sound patterns to create these like a mandala. It's like creating a subtle form using sound that harmonizes or activates or cleans or different things. Different mantra are doing different things in your body, different organs, different nerves, everything. So there's a whole science of sound vibration and working with sound vibration. And it's very useful. It's very useful to help smooth out the mind, right? It's like your hair is all knotted. You have to comb your hair and make it smooth. So the mantra, repetition of mantra, helps to untangle these knots in our mind. Otherwise, we just keep tying more knots, right? So mantra is kind of untangling the knots. It's not a prayer because it's not asking for it. It's not using language. The way that these sounds are used is not like a linguistic, but it's like a key, right? What is the meaning of a key? The meaning of the key is to unlock the lock. Each key is very precise. The notches and the space, everything has to be exact. If you have exact the key, you can open the lock. In the same way, mantra is like a key, using this sound, vibration, and the pitch. And if used correctly, then it will unlock the things within you, like your mind and your heart. And so we're going to go over a few basic mantra here. I mean, what they say is, you have the classic ones, like Ganesh, Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Hannanamate Namaha, Om Maim Srim Rim Saraswati Devya Namaha, Om Dum Durga Devya Namo Namaha. They have the basic ones, and you want to see what feels good. No? Or you meet a teacher and they say, take this one. No, there are different ways it can happen. Nowadays we have so many books and we have so many things, everything. So mantra is used at the beginning of meditation to get into the zone. Right? Before meditation, we start with the postures. The posture itself is a form of meditation. The posture itself is really breathing practice. Then we have the pranayama, which is more subtle. And then we have the mantra, vibration. And then we have the stillness. Right? Like in the water filter, you have different stages of the filter, different things, big chunks of carbon and then different things and sand and same. So what we're doing is we're not just going from our daily life, running around everything to the stillness, but we are layer by layer cleaning, tuning, and then by the time we get there, we're already in that state of presence. So mantra is useful. It's like a chew toy. When the baby or the dog, you need something to chew on. So if we don't have something to chew on, our mind is going to chew on everything around. So it helps also to contain the energy in the mind. Otherwise, we waste all our energy. As soon as we get a little energy, we just immediately waste it. So mantra is a practice. Tomorrow we'll talk about it some before we go to the temple. In the Buddhist monk blessing tomorrow morning, where we'll listen to the Pali mantras, where they're chanting these like these waves. Right? The key with mantra is just to allow the wave of vibration to move through you. Not to tense up, just relax and to breathe, and eventually you merge into the vibration. So you keep your attention on the vibration, and then it allows you to be quiet. These are different tools we can experiment with. And then through your experiment, you find out what's useful, what's not useful. Right? The path of yoga is a very personal path. The same like you brush your teeth. That's personal way you brush your teeth. Personal way you take a shower. Personal way you get dressed. So the practice is simply part of the daily hygiene. We clean our teeth, we clean our clothes, we clean the surface of our skin. But that's only on the surface. So if you take time every day to clean your body, your blood, your cells, your organs, your nervous system, if you take time every day to clean your heart, to clean your mind, then potentially you will feel better, you'll feel lighter. If we don't do it, then we don't have any excuse. It's like you never wash your clothes. I feel yucky, but you never take a shower. You never change your clothes. So that's why they say that this is our responsibility. Like someone give you a piece of land and they say, here, this is for you. Now it's your responsibility, you have to take care of that. You can choose, you can neglect it or you can take care of it. It's your responsibility. So we've been given this piece of land. It's loaned. It's a loan, it's not mine. It's temporary. Nothing is mine. Not even the breath is not mine. These eyes are not mine. Nothing is mine. So we can choose. It's our responsibility to tend to the garden. And if you do, if you water the garden will grow. Right? It's not like to spend time in a garden is not a chore, it's a joy. So wonderful to sit in the garden. So to be with yourself, this itself is the act of love. You don't have to buy flowers and write a love poem for yourself. You just breathe and awaken your spine. This is act of love. Clean your mind. This is a tremendous act of love. This is also, it's not selfish, because if we don't clean our minds, if we don't tune ourselves, then we become a nuisance to everyone around us. And so only when we are ourselves in tune can we authentically be of service to those around us. And so we have to start here. We have to start with ourselves here and now. And then this is our gift to the world, to be yourself. This is the biggest gift you can give to the world, is to be unapologetically and authentically yourself. And that you have to discover what that means each moment. You have to live it each moment. It's not going to mean the same thing now and in 10 days and in 10 years. Every moment is like in a sports game. You can't apply the same strategy every moment. So this is the real success, to be yourself. Nothing else will ever be enough. When we sacrifice ourselves to achieve some goal, it won't be enough. It won't be fulfilling. So we don't have to sacrifice ourselves. You can fit in every day 30 minutes, that's 2%. That leaves 98% of the day. Still plenty of time for everything else. And then we can excel in our family life, in our work life, and because we're in tune with ourselves, because we're grounded in life, not because we've sacrificed everything and are drained and exhausted like this. That is not, that grind is the root to the burnout. So to be in tune, it's not fancy. But it's the most powerful. To be in tune, to be in your power, in your voice, to be in your heart, to be in your truth. I can guarantee if you do the practice, like if you practice French, there are different methods, like Michel Tan. There are some of these great linguists who created methods. If you practice, then you'll learn the language. The same way, I can guarantee if you practice, you can very deeply be yourself. But don't make it a big deal. Do the practice, but keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone. You just do your practice. Like you take a shower, you don't talk about it. You don't tell everyone about it. You clean your body, heart, and mind. You do your practice, and it's special. It's something sacred. Otherwise, we never have time with ourselves. Just to have that time with yourself in the morning. Best time, first thing in the morning. Right? A musician should tune their instrument before they play. Right? Warm up before you play. That's what makes sense. So if we take a few minutes in the morning to awaken our bodies, hearts, and minds, then possible that life will, the flow of life will evolve. Things will shift. Because of the training, because of the tuning. So this is what we call the natural way, not by forcing and forcing, but by you water the garden, you can't rip it out. You can't rip this plant from the seed. You can't rip the fruit from the tree when it's not grown yet. So in the same way, you have to allow the natural cycle of time. So this practice is a non-aggressive way to evolve. Like a garden, just like the garden. Also, very strong recommendation, use a timer. For each posture, you put the timer 1 minute, and then you go. Otherwise, it always, how long, this or that. Breathing, you put the timer. Meditation, put the timer and sit. Then it's fixed. 1 minute, 1 minute, okay. After some weeks, maybe you increase 1 minute, 10 seconds, 1 minute, 15, 1 minute, 20 seconds. After a month, a few months, okay, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Meditation, you do 12 minutes, then 12 minutes you put it down and just sit. And then later 13 minutes or 15 minutes, like that. The timer is very important because there's no teacher and it's difficult to be accountable. So the timer takes over that role. Also strongly recommend you make a fixed recipe. Like when you go to the gym, this day I'm doing these exercises, this many reps, this much weight. Everything is laid out. If instead you just have like an intention, like I want to do yoga, I think it's good, then you're not going to be able to maintain the practice. Maybe you do a little bit here and there now and then it's swept away. If you have very precise I'm doing this posture, then this one, then this one, then this one, then this breathing, and this one, then this chant and meditation. You can always add more, but you never subtract. You have your core practice, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you can always do more, no problem. But this is a strong recommendation in order to be able to follow through with the training. If it's of interest, of course, I never intend to force anything on anyone, but just presenting this approach to yoga, which is different. Usually you have to go to the yoga class, right? It's all about the yoga class. This is an inner process that you become the teacher. You're the teacher and the student. And for me, at least for me, I think many people too, the best part of life is learning. I get so high from learning, so much excitement, so much joy to learn about life, to deepen my connection with life, with myself, to learn different ways to create and to connect and to experience nature and life. Learning is such a high. And so then we have endless opportunities each and every day to learn and to grow. What a joy. Enough talking. Let's take a moment again to be quiet. Come back to center. Don't lose your center. Keep coming back again and again and again and again. Slow down your breathing. Close your eyes and look up at the top of your head. Inhale deeply.